Today's lesson is Rihanna, the Caribbean queen who conquered pop. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And we are back with day 2 of our look at Robin Rihanna Fenty. I will definitely call myself a bit more of a fan after learning so much about her yesterday. Of course, I think a lot of people know that she was from Barbados. And I didn't know, though, that she had a pretty tough childhood there, didn't she?
Yes, I think that's something that a lot of people don't know, but also coming from kind of a poorer background, I think that it can kind of, even if you didn't know everything, you probably had a good guess that it might have not been the best. And also the reason why she wanted to get out, especially so young. Remember, she left at just 16 to come to the U.S. to try to pursue music. So you don't usually leave places at 16 if everything is going wonderfully.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's also true that Barbados, which is a beautiful holiday island that a lot of people go to for winter vacations from Europe and Canada and America, of course, they don't have a lot for young people, right? Unless you want to work in a hotel or a restaurant and work with tourists, there isn't a lot else to do there. So I think a lot of young people do leave those places, even though we would call it paradise. When you're actually trying to make a life there, it can be rather a bit of a struggle. And she had that difficulty at home, right? The father wasn't really helpful. He wasn't really there. So at 16, she must have gotten permission from her mother to go off and become a music star in America. And it worked well, as we read. She auditioned for Jay-Z, the big famous rapper, and he signed her to his record label on the spot. And of course, she's had many hits since then. But pop music isn't the only thing she does. We're going to find out about many of other tools in this talented artist's toolbox in the next part of our article. So let's get into that.
Over time, Rihanna has proven that her talents extend far beyond music. In 2012, she branched out into acting with her first big-screen role in Battleship. This was followed by several more film credits, among them a starring role in the 2019 musical movie Guava Island. She has also ventured into business. In 2017, she launched the makeup brand Fenty Beauty, while her lingerie line, Savage X Fenty, was launched a year later. Both have won praise for their inclusivity, Fenty Beauty for providing for diverse skin tones, and Savage X Fenty for catering to all kinds of body shapes.
大家好，第一部分介绍片语 branch out， 表示涉足新领域、新工作、扩展业务。例如 The illustrator has branched out into writing children's books. 那位插画家涉足了新领域，开始写童书。或是 Our shop branched out from baked goods to coffee and sandwiches. 我们的店从贩售烘焙食品扩展到卖咖啡和三明治。下一个看到动词 venture， 意思是冒险从事点点点，涉足。例如 You should never venture into the mountains by yourself. 你千万不能自行冒险入山。或者 The hunters ventured into the hills looking for deer. 猎人冒险进入山上寻找鹿。
Okay, we are back. So we already know that Rihanna is a big pop star. She's had many successful albums, many big hits, international #1. I think Umbrella was like #1 record in dozens of countries around the world. So we know all that stuff. Let's find out about some of the other amazing things and very interesting things that she's gotten involved in. It says, over time, Rihanna has proven that her talents extend far beyond music. So at first she was a pop star, but then she tried to do other things. For example, in 2012, she branched out into acting with her first big screen role in Battleship. This was the first one that I was aware she was acting in, and so she's branching out. When you branch out, you kind of expand. We're thinking of a tree and how the branches grow away from the tree and sort of make the area of the tree larger. They reach out a further distance. So think of your natural skills or your natural talent or your natural career as the trunk, the main body of the tree, but you're doing other other things too. So you could be a business person, but you also, I don't know, sing on the weekends, or you play sports at a very high level or something. You're branching out, you're trying other things, you're doing other things in your life or with your career and your talents. And in this case, she branched out into acting. A big screen role means a movie role. So this wasn't in a television program or anything like that. This was a movie role, and she was in Battleship. This was followed by several more film credits, among them a starring role in the 2019 musical movie Guava Island.
Yes, and then it says she's also ventured into business. Okay, so now we've got this word ventured. So this word just means to kind of go into something that maybe you weren't already into it, or you kind of similar to this idea of branching out. So she was a singer. Of course, she's still a singer, but she is venturing or going off and looking into these other different avenues of success. So one was venturing into movie roles, but now she's venturing into business. And again, that's a very good thing to do. If you are an artist, you maybe can't always rely on your voice being good or people liking the style of music that you make. So having some backups and other ways of kind of keeping your empire stable is a good idea. And so she ventures into business. In 2017, she launched the makeup brand Fenty Beauty, while her lingerie line, Savage X Fenty, was launched a year later. Okay, so now she has several different businesses, not just one. She got into makeup, and then she also had a lingerie line. Now, lingerie, this word just means the kind of clothes that you might wear for women that you wear under your clothes, like bras and underwear and things like that. And sometimes they're a little bit more fancy and lacy and pretty. Sometimes they're more simple. But all of this kind of would fall under this idea of a lingerie line. And so she's got makeup and she's got lingerie, and seems like they're both doing well, because in the next part it says both have won praise for their inclusivity. Fenty Beauty for providing for diverse skin tones, and Savage X Fenty for catering to all kinds of body shapes. So basically, both of her businesses are very inclusive. They are known for their inclusivity. So if something is inclusive, it means that everybody is included. She's trying to include everyone. The opposite of this would be exclude. So if you're saying like, oh, only blonde girls can be in this club, then that would be exclusive club, because you're excluding everybody else. But here she's saying, hey, there are a lot of different skin tones. There's a lot of different people who are having a hard time finding makeup, and their skin is so diverse. There are many, many different kinds. This word diverse means many different kinds, that she wanted to make makeup for everyone. Because again, that is a hard thing for some women to find, is a skin tone color that actually matches for makeup. And also with this Savage X Fenty, it's catering to all kinds of body shapes. If something is catering to, it is doing what it can to make all these body shapes be able to find something that they want. If you cater to somebody, you are trying to do something that matches what they need. Like there are different body shapes, tall people, short people, big people, small people, but they all want lingerie. So she comes up with this idea to include all of these different body shapes and make lingerie that would work for everyone. And that is this idea of catering to the different kinds of body shapes and making sure that everyone is included and everybody can get what they want and feel pretty and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of restaurants now, they'll cater to people who are vegetarian or vegan or can't eat certain meats for religious reasons, right? They'll have little symbols on the menu or something. It's not just, if you don't like meat, too bad, we can't serve you. No, as you said, everyone comes in different shapes and sizes, and I think that was a complaint about the fashion business for a long time, right? The models were always skinny and white, but of course, not every woman in the world fits into that very narrow category. So providing all these different products for different people of different sizes, different shapes, different colors is only a good thing. All right, so we're going to find out more about some of the other cool things Rihanna has been doing, and maybe even the promise of some new music. Yes, hold on. We got the second part of the article coming up now.
Rihanna has used her success to further a number of charity and advocacy projects. In 2012, she established the Clara Lionel Foundation, named after her grandparents. The foundation is involved in various health and education initiatives, including providing scholarships and funding a cancer treatment center in Barbados. She has also participated in campaigns benefiting HIV/AIDS patients, climate change action, and access to clean water.
第二部分看到名词 charity， 指慈善机构、慈善事业。例如 Alan gives money to charity whenever he can. Alan 在行有余力时会捐钱给慈善机构。也可以说 Scott runs a charity that helps feed the homeless. Scott 经营一个帮助喂养游民的慈善机构。接着介绍形容词 involved， 表示参与的、投入的、涉及的。我们可以说 Tim is very involved in his school's chess club. Tim 非常投入学校的西洋棋社。又或者说 Don't get yourself involved in other people's problems. 别让自己卷入别人的问题里。往下看到名词 initiative， 意思是倡议、计划、主动性。例如 The school launched an anti-bullying initiative to create a safer environment for students. 学校发起了反霸凌的计划，为学生创造一个更安全的环境。再看一个例子 The politician has proposed an initiative to improve education. 该政治家提出一项改善教育的倡议。继续看到名词 campaign， 它表示政治、商业、社会等运动、活动。可以说 The mayor's re-election campaign focused on improving public transportation. 该市长的连任竞选活动聚焦于改善大众交通。也可以说 The advertising campaign for the new sports drink features a famous baseball player. 新的运动饮料广告活动以一位知名的棒球选手作为主打。
Okay, we are back. So we've learned about Rihanna's expanding business empire. Of course, her ventures into movie making and acting as well. I don't think she does as much acting anymore, but we'll find out there's actually some good reasons for that. But let's look at some of the other things that she's doing. Where she finds the time, I have no idea. But it says Rihanna has used her success to further a number of charity and advocacy projects. So not only is she changing the world in the business realm, but also in the charity and good acts kind of realm. She's furthering a number of charity and advocacy projects. When you further them, you sort of move them along, you improve them, you develop them, you help them grow. And these are things that she's doing in the world of charity and advocacy. Charity, of course, is giving money or time or energy to people or groups or issues that need help. So poor kids, sick kids in Africa, the environment, human rights and protecting the freedom of people around the world, women's rights, gay and lesbian rights, that kind of thing. So she's helping out with lots of those things. And advocacy. Advocacy is quite similar to charity. Charity can be done just by writing a check or giving money to a group that you support who are trying to help people who need help. Advocacy, that's a bit more useful if you're famous to do advocacy. You're kind of using your name and your fame and your public profile to bring attention to certain things. You know how there's certain celebrities, and often when you see them in interviews, they're talking about the charities that they work for. I think George Clooney has been a big advocate of the Sudanese people, right? They've had civil wars there for many years. We can think of celebrities who are often talking about the environment. I know that Yao Ming in China was a big advocate for not eating sharks, trying to get people to protect sharks and protect ocean creatures like that. So they're using their fame, their high profile, the attention they get to sort of focus their attention on other things that they feel need attention as well. So they're kind of giving their time and their reputation to help these charities. It says in 2012, she established the Clara Lionel Foundation, named after her grandparents. Okay, so this is an actual charitable group, or a foundation, as it's called here, that she set up herself. A foundation, well, that's basically an organization that's probably been founded for some kind of special reason. Often when we think of charities, the other words that we might use for them would be a foundation. A foundation could be the base of something. Often when you see them building a building, they're building sort of the concrete legs and bottom of the building. And if the foundation is strong, you can continue to build up higher and higher. But when we talk about an organization of people, this is basically an establishment establishment of an institution or an organization, it's going to be a permanent thing. It's not just a temporary thing. And they will try to do something good in the world. And they will generally take money from rich people or take donations from just normal people in the public, as charities do. And this foundation or this charity was named after her grandparents. What does this charity do or this foundation do?
Well, it says the foundation is involved in various health and education initiatives, including providing scholarships and funding a cancer treatment center in Barbados.
Wow.
Okay, so again, she's using this kind of platform, this kind of fame to give back and help. And so this foundation is involved. If something is involved, then it is a part of that thing. So in our case, we have a foundation involved in various health and education initiatives. So they are working with maybe the local government or the local health providers and things like that. They are involved in some way. If you are involved, you're a part of it, you're working with it, you're helping it. And in this case, we've got health and education initiatives. So if something is an initiative, it is something that you want to start to kind of help everybody else. An education initiative is like they are taking action to make education something important or something attainable, something that people can actually get involved with. So here, their initiatives include giving scholarships and funding cancer treatment. So you have the health and education initiatives. Those are scholarships and cancer treatment centers. Those are the things that they have decided to work on, to take place, to help improve health and education in Barbados. And it says she's also participated in campaigns benefiting HIV and AIDS patients, climate change action, and access to clean water.
Wow.
Yes, so she is quite busy. So she participated in campaigns. If you are a part of a campaign, you're basically a part of something that is advocating or working towards making something happen. You hear this word a lot when you've got people who want to like run for president. They have a campaign. They say, this is what I want to do, and so this is why you should vote for me. But if you're not necessarily running for an office, but you just want to help people, then you can be campaigning and still say, these are the things I'm trying to make happen. So you can support maybe by donating, or you can support by volunteering or something like that. So she's helping out in these campaigns. She is working towards making these things better. Better lives for HIV and AIDS patients, better climate change action, and better access to clean water.
Wow, amazing. The list of good things that she's put her time, effort, and money into. All right, we have one more little paragraph, and we will have a hint of possibly some music there. So come back and join us for that in just a moment.
Somewhere among all these achievements, Rihanna and partner A$AP Rocky have found time to welcome 2 children into their lives. And with an eagerly awaited new album in the works, it's clear that this queen of pop has no plans to slow down anytime soon.
第3部分看到 await 这个单字，它是动词，指等待，即将降临。举例来说 ，The kids await their turn to go on the ride。孩子们等着轮到他们玩游乐设施。或者 A large crowd eagerly awaited the arrival of the famous singer。一大群人热切地等待那位知名歌手的到来。
It says somewhere among all these achievements, Rihanna and partner A$AP Rocky have found time to welcome 2 children into their lives. She's the mother of 2. So somewhere among all these achievements, among all the other things that she's done and the great success that she's had as a singer, as an actress, and also as someone who's involved very strongly with many charities, she and her partner, so this is a person she's been with probably a while, but they're not officially married, so that's why we call them a partner. This is the rapper, A$AP Rocky, and they have found time to welcome 2 children into their lives. Basically, that's just a nice way of saying they have 2 kids. And with an eagerly awaited new album in the works, it's clear that this queen of pop has no plans to slow down anytime soon. So an eagerly awaited new album, if you're eager, you're excited and enthusiastic. If you're awaiting something, you're waiting for something, okay? An eagerly awaited thing. Generally, with a noun, we would have have an eagerly awaited thing. You might be waiting for something or waiting for a person, but if a thing is eagerly awaited, usually we're talking about a noun. Christmas might be eagerly awaited. The weekend might be eagerly awaited. Getting a bonus from your boss might be eagerly awaited. Something that you're waiting for. And this is a new album. Not just one song, but the fans want a bunch of new songs. They want to be able to go out and maybe even buy a record or a CD. Don't worry, it's in the works. They are in the process of making it. If something is in the works, it is being worked on, but it is not yet completed, but they have definitely started on it. So it is definitely in the process. It is being done now. So it's clear that this Queen of Pop has no plans to slow down anytime soon. I imagine a tour might follow after the new album comes out. Who knows? I even heard that she's a good bet for the Super Bowl next year, maybe, because she has a new album possibly coming out. That's a good time. So pay attention to the headlines. Keep your eye on the TV or on the radio or wherever you get your entertainment news, because Rihanna might be there, or maybe she's in the business pages with some new line of products. Who knows? Well, we do have a discussion starter, but first let's go over to our Chinese teacher, Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分第一句提到，蕾哈娜利用自身的成功来推动许多慈善与倡议活动。文中是用 further a number of charity and advocacy projects 来表达推动许多慈善与倡议活动。Further 在这边是当动词，表达推进、促进或是增进。A number of 意思是跟 several 或者是 some 相近，可以表达好几个啊，一些若干的意思。那用来修饰可数名词的量。Number 的前面还可以加入形容词修饰，所以像是 a large number of fans 就是大量粉丝， a small number of countries 少数国家等等。特别注意，我们用 a number of 加上复数可数名词，用来当主词的话，必须把它视为复数。例如 A number of students were absent today. 今天有好几个学生缺席。那主词是 a number of students。 同学们不能看到前面的 a 就以为它是单数主词，我们要把它视为复数，后面是搭配 be 动词 were。 那比较一个用法， The number of 是指说什么什么的数量，用来表达某人或某事物的数量。当我们用 the number of 加上复数可数名词，用这个来当主词的话，必须视为单数。例如The number of her followers has been growing. 她的追踪人数持续增长。那这时候主词是 the number of her followers。 那我们不能看到那个 followers 就以为这是个复数主词哦，它要视为单数，那后面就是搭配助动词，我们用到 has。 另外文中有一个单字 advocacy， 它是名词，表示提倡、拥护、主张。它的相关词性 advocate当名词，表示提倡者、拥护者。我们来补充它的字根。看到 VOC、VOK 或是 VOW 这一类字根呢，它带有 call 或是 speak、sound、voice 等的意思，表示说话、叫喊声音。在 advocate 这个字当中，字首 AD 表示朝向，字根 VOC 表示说话。ATE 可以当动词字尾或是名词字尾。那同学们可以联想，对着大众发言的人就是去大力提倡某件事的人，所以 advocate 当名词表示提倡者、拥护者。那它也可以当动词，念作 advocate， 表示拥护、提倡或是主张。好，那顺便补充两个有这一类字根的单字。第一个补充 provoke， 它的字首 PRO 表示在点点点之前，那么字根 VOKE 表示叫喊。当有人站在前方叫喊，像是呛虾那种有挑衅意味，这样应该可以联想到 provoke 它有挑衅啊、煽动啊、激怒或是激起的意思。好，第二个补充的是 evoke，它的字首 E 有向外、由内向外的语义， VOKE 表示叫喊，那字面意思就是向外呼喊。这个字啊，以前多多少少带有招魂、呼唤亡灵的语义，那也许就可以联想到说 evoke 它有唤起、引起的意思，常常用来表达唤起某个记忆啊、印象等等。好，那么以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾简单字吧。
Venture.After years spent working for other people, Ralph finally ventured to start his own business. Diverse. Hundreds of students from diverse backgrounds attend the local high school. Charity. A huge concert aimed at raising money for charity will be held next Saturday. Foundation. Earl works for a foundation that supports education programs around the world. Involved. Terry is very involved in community activities and often volunteers his time. Initiative. Next year, the city is expected to begin work on a new initiative to reduce traffic. Campaign. The actress has taken part in several campaigns to raise awareness about mental health. Await. A long journey awaits ahead, so we should try to get some rest.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Okay, we are back with our discussion starter. Before we say goodbye, which of Rihanna's achievements do you think make her life story a must-know or truly inspiring, and why?
I think her work in music really makes her stand out. Yes, she has done some amazing, amazing things, and I think going beyond music and being able to have all this hand in all these different charities, and that's all wonderful. But just as a personal connection, I'm just like still... Oh, I just love her music.
Fantastic.
So I still love that part.
I can't wait for the new stuff to come out and for you to react to it. I would say what makes her story inspiring to me is how she has been able to be so good at so many things and avoid a lot of controversy, since the media and fans and bloggers are always looking to find a problem with your life or complain or bring up a controversy, but her life has been relatively controversy-free, especially for the last 5 or 10 years. So she's obviously just doing a good job, and everyone who works with her seems to be happy. Her relationship seems to be very stable. So all of this is pretty nice because she's not a person who's always in the news for the wrong reasons. She leads a pretty quiet life, but when she does things, they're usually pretty amazing and pretty good things.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Sam.
See you next time.